It is my pleasure to welcome you here at Rochelle. We're excited to host you. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment and thank our distinguished guests and attendees for their valuable time and presence. Rochelle is a company dedicated to providing innovative and cutting-edge solutions to our customers' security and protection needs. We're proud of our work in developing state-of-the-art armored vehicles. Rochelle has and is playing a crucial role in providing armored vehicles to Ukraine during the ongoing Russian full-scale aggression against the country. Since the start of the war, Rochelle has deployed hundreds of Senator APC to Ukraine and has received orders from NATO member countries. With over 550 units set to be in Ukraine by this coming summer, Rochelle skilled employees and temporarily displaced Ukrainians made this possible. Over 100 Ukrainians found their way to contribute to their homeland here at Rochelle. Their commitment to producing high-quality armored vehicles has earned positive feedbacks and requests for more of them in Ukraine, and they work around the clock to meet the demands. Rochelle is committed to continuously developing and improving the best and most secure vehicles to meet and exceed the expectations. Our dedication to innovation and excellence is evident to our cutting-edge solutions for security and protection needs. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Matt Ray, Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Education. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, and it's my pleasure to be here at Rochelle, and thank you for hosting us. It's a privilege to serve as one of the parliamentary assistants to the Minister of Education. The Minister and I are focused on ensuring our students are being taught a modern curriculum that prepares them for the jobs of tomorrow. And as many of you are aware, skilled trades are an essential component of Ontario's economy. They are the backbone of many industries, including construction, manufacturing, and transportation. Skilled tradespeople are highly trained professionals who possess specialized knowledge and expertise that are critical to the success of these industries. However, there is a shortage of professional workers in many of these skilled trades across Ontario. By 2025, 1 in 5 jobs will be in the skilled trades. And I am proud of the work of our government, led by Premier Ford, Minister McNaughton, and Minister Lecce, who are rising to meet this challenge. We're developing a plan for skilled trades to address the shortages and support the growth and development of the skilled trades in Ontario. This includes implementing policies that promote apprentices, vocational training, and other initiatives that help young people gain the skills and knowledge they need to succeed in the trades. It's my pleasure and honour to welcome my colleague and friend, the Honourable Stephen Lecce, Ontario's Minister of Education, to the podium to share some exciting news today. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to be with you. I want to first off just thank Roman here at Rochelle, the amazing workforce, employing 400 hardworking people, women and men, including over 100 Ukrainians who have been working here in the fight for freedom. And I just want to affirm our commitments to this effort. It's so important that Canadians continue to rally behind our friends in Ukraine for democracy, for freedom, and for the rule of law. And so it's very inspiring to see so many individuals, particularly Ukrainians, who have found work in this country here at Rochelle, and for that we are grateful. And I know Rochelle will be a huge beneficiary of the work we're announcing today to help strengthen the skilled workforce for the next generation. And I also want to thank Ontario's Associate Minister of Women's Social and Economic Opportunities, my friend Charmaine Williams, and of course, MPP Matt Ray, who have been incredible partners as we work together to inspire more girls and boys to pursue skilled trades and STEM education. I want to thank specifically Matt Ray because today's announcement, part of his focus has been on curriculum reform, modernization to make sure it is aligned with the labor market needs of our young people. So I want to thank Matt for his leadership today to get us to the finish line with this announcement. Now we know that to build a generation of prosperity in our province, we need to ensure we have a skilled workforce to get it done. In fact, we know that by 2026, as Matt noted, 1 in 5 of these jobs will be related to the skilled trades. And that's why our government is making sure that students understand the opportunities, the value, the impact of a career in the skilled trades. Just last Wednesday, I joined the Premier of Ontario to announce an enhanced pathway, an accelerated pathway for students to turn their skills they gain in high school into a good paying career in the skilled trades. And today, I am happy and proud to announce that we're ensuring Ontario students have more opportunities to get hands-on experience in technical education through grade 9 and 10 courses, which will help inspire more young people to pursue careers in the trades. And so, starting in September of 2024, all students entering grade 9 will earn now a grade 9 or 10 technical education credit as part of their high school graduation requirement. Because just in the year 2020-21, only 39% of female students were taking a technical education course. And we know we can do better. We know that all students need to have an earlier opportunity to appreciate the pathways in the skilled trades. We want to inspire more students to understand the opportunities in the digital economy and the changing landscape around us. And so we want young people earlier in their careers to know that this new graduation requirement will open doors and opportunities for every single child, but perhaps most especially for girls in Ontario schools that now will be able to see themselves reflected in these amazing careers in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, as well as the skilled trades. This compulsory credit in technical education is not only going to expose more students into the skilled trades and other technological fields, it will introduce more girls to the trades, and it will help nearly 3/4 of all tradesmen, it will help ensure that the 3/4 of tradesmen that are men have a complement of women to support them as we build for the future. With the hands-on learning opportunities, more students being exposed to real life experience in real time, this will help pursue our young people on the path to good jobs. Now, for example, a student learning about woodworking as part of their grade 9 technical education course may be inspired to pursue an apprenticeship and may ultimately choose a career as a carpenter. Or a student, like for example, like CHCH, who's with us today, who is using her own technological and digital experience to help inspire thousands of students to find their passion through a nonprofit called CodeSpire. It is exciting when we meet real students who want to see more of this in the curriculum, and I want to thank CHCH for being with us, for being the real student model for the rest of our province of what is possible by learning in the skilled trades. So what she's been able to do as a case study, through her own initiative, and what we seek to replicate on a much larger scale in this province, is to connect young people and students with modern, effective, accessible, technological education that inspires them and introduces them to new career paths to achieve success. And so today's news builds on what we've already done. We're ensuring our curriculum is modernized. We just brought in a new computer science curriculum this past December that will begin with a new grade 10 digital technology course effective this coming September. We've expanded the dual credit program. That's that 2-for-1 opportunity where in high school you get to take courses that count towards your college or apprenticeship certificate. We have increased by 137% the number of students participating under our government, and we know there's more to do. The Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program is valued by students. It's co-op placement, learning in classroom, the hands-on learning in the workforce. We want more co-op, and that's why we've seen a significant expansion of this program, as well as the specialist high skills major program that focuses on 19 economic sectors, from mining to advanced manufacturing like we're doing here today, to engineering and much more. And so this updated technical education curriculum that we introduced just months ago, along with this new graduation requirement, will ensure Ontario students have the educations needed to thrive in a changing global environment and the competitive advantage when they graduate to get into a good job. All of this is part of our plan to build the province and to help these kids catch up as we provide the most modern skills to help bridge the gaps of learning over the past few years. As part of our plan to catch up, we've announced a financial relief program for families, we've expanded staffing, and of course, we've ensured our curriculum reflects where the puck is going when it comes to the economy. And all of this has been done under the leadership of our Premier, designed to help young people pursue their full potential in Ontario. And so we're giving our young people the tools they need to succeed today, tomorrow, and well into the future. And so it is exciting, part of this new mandatory requirement, to open up doors and opportunities for every single student in Ontario. And we couldn't do this if not for the partnership and the leadership of my friend Charmaine Williams, Ontario's Associate Minister of Women's Social and Economic Opportunities. I'm going to call her up to speak today. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be joining you all today. I'm going to take those glasses off. I'm so delighted to be here with my cabinet colleague, the Minister of Education, Minister Lecce, and his parliamentary assistant, member for Perth Wellington, Matt Ray. And I'm glad to see Matt in the Peel region. I applaud the minister's trailblazing announcement to bring technological education to all Ontario high school students. As Associate Minister of Women's Social and Economic Opportunities, my focus is on all the young women who will be introduced to technological education in the coming years and how it will broaden their career choices. I have 5 children, all of whom are in Ontario's public education system, and I want to ensure that they and all other children in Ontario have the absolute best shot at being economically successful. A, because I know that a well-rounded education will give ways to success, and B, because I eventually want to see them move out so I can turn their bedrooms into my own space, and more importantly, have my daughters be the ones to build it. I know that other mothers in the room and those of you watching are probably thinking the same thing. But in all seriousness, introducing students in careers in technology and the skilled trades, as the minister just said, particularly is important for girls, as women are often underrepresented in these fields. This is another step our government is taking to increase women's participation in the workforce and empower them to succeed in sectors where they are vital to our economy. The skills trades are facing a labor shortage as many baby boomers are retiring. And this isn't an industry problem, and this isn't a female problem. It's an economic problem, because women and girls can play a vital role in our economy. And they want to. I can't tell you how many organizations and programs, centers I've toured where I've met inspiring young women who are excited to break the stigma and enter traditionally male-dominated fields. Just last year, I met several women at Bruce Power, for instance, and it was exciting to hear that 58% of their nuclear operations and training were women. We need to replicate those numbers and build on them in tech education and skilled trades as well. And that's what this announcement is going to help to do. They say every journey begins with a single step. One course might be all it takes to light that flame of learning and curiosity in our young women and lead them into prosperous careers in technology and the skilled trades. That is my hope. That is our government's goal. And on behalf of all women, thank you, Minister, for your leadership that you've shown here today and every day, for embodying my personal mantra that when women succeed, Ontario succeeds. And now I'll turn it over to Hansraj, an amazing woman in tech who's paving the way and living the mantra that if you can see me, you can be me, inspiring other women to get into the field. Come on up.
First, I just want to say thank you so much for giving me this incredible honor of sharing my story with everyone here as a grade 12 student, super passionate about technology. So I'll share a bit about my story. Up until grade 10, I didn't like programming at all. I didn't want to be a tech nerd. I didn't want to join all the boys and be the only girl in the classroom writing lines of code. I felt isolated. But 2 months later, I fell in love. I was head over heels in love with tech and building. So how did that happen? Growing up, I felt really disconnected with all the tech courses I was taking. Why am I creating Python lists? Why is this useful? What does this tech actually look like in the real world? I kept asking myself, why? But my curiosity wasn't being satisfied. I wasn't getting the answers I wanted. But it didn't help that every time I entered a classroom where robots were running around the room, I heard whispers about my gender. I heard, she's a girl, what can she do in this classroom? What can she contribute? So I didn't feel welcome. I didn't want to enter, nor could I enter this tech pit that everyone was so scared of. So I decided to sideline that interest. I continued researching into health and medicine, and then once more, I encountered an intersection with tech, mental health, and technology. And there I found my why for tech. I found that real-world application. And I was determined to bring down this misdiagnosis rate that was such a plague in my South Asian community. It was a blocker of trust between mental health and my community, just like many others. So I taught myself code. I was sitting in my bedroom, dealing with so many errors on my screen, but again, I felt so isolated throughout this whole process. I was all by myself learning technology. And that's why this mandatory tech credit is so important. Because once girls enter these classrooms, they'll see they're not the only one that look like them in that classroom. They'll find this community where they'll be able to learn. And they'll also find this why that they need. Because tech is so diverse. Tech isn't just one sector. Tech transcends all sectors. And they'll be able to find that interdisciplinary niche that they need to find tech interesting. And while the ministry is taking their action, I'm also taking my own action to bridge this digital literacy gap by founding CodeSmire, my nonprofit initiative delivering tech education to underprivileged youth all across Ontario. I realized I'm not the only kid facing this gap. There's so many other kids facing an even wider divide than I am, and I wanted to bridge this. Why are youth being robbed of their keys to the future because of race, sexuality, gender, income status? The future is for everyone, so education should be as well. Not only do I love implementing and innovating in technology, I want to uplift future technologists from the underprivileged demographics to change the world alongside myself. So I just want to say thank you again for this opportunity. And I want to hand the mic over back to Minister Lecce once more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now open the floor for questions. Please step forward to the mic and state your name and outlet. Just a reminder, it's one question and one follow-up.
Hey, good morning, Minister Lecce. It's Colin Bella from Global News. I'm well, thank you. Just on another technology, yesterday the government announced that you were banning TikTok on all personal devices and government devices as well. Will those policies related to TikTok also be extended to school boards across the province?
That is a decision point that we will communicate on. We obviously share a very profound concern about the privacy impacts for young people. I am troubled by the impact of this technology on young people in the school system from a safety perspective of their privacy, physical safety, mental health. You know, the level of bullying that can transpire on this technology. And I think we all have to have a pause for concern about its application, which is why the government took a decisive decision yesterday to remove it from all applications, both for government members and for government staff. And so I think in short, you're hearing a concern about its application, a concern about the impact on the privacy of children, very vulnerable kids who may sign on to a user policy without perhaps fully appreciating its impact long term. And so I have a concern with it, and I'm in communications with members of our government on what additional steps we can take that potentially extend that policy to schools and to other applications.
What specifically would that look like? So, for instance, in schools, would you ban students from using it on the school Wi-Fi, or would TikTok be banned from school grounds?
Yeah.
In total, what are you considering right now with TikTok and school boards?
I think we're seeking counsel. I've raised this matter as recently as yesterday with senior officials in the ministry to understand what are the steps government should take responsibly to reduce the risk for privacy, for physical and mental health of children. I am concerned by what's happening in schools. with the proliferation of this technology. I've heard from many parents who are concerned, frankly, both for mental health and physical health of the child. There's a lot of distractions within our school system. As you know, some years ago we banned cell phones from being in the classroom, but it's difficult for the enforcement side when kids are taken out on the playground or in the cafeteria. But we've really stepped up the knowledge in schools about cyber safety and cyber security. In fact, so much so that we made it part of our curriculum in the health and physical education curriculum. In the civics curriculum, we've started to elevate knowledge about the use of technology for misinformation. So I look forward to speaking more about this as soon as decisions are taken, but I think what I'm expressing is a profound concern with the impact, short-term and long-term, on young people's lives. I'm very pleased that the government took action in this province to remove that application from all government cell phones. Good morning.
Mr. Lecce, Martin Trainer, CBC News. You're definitely getting your own skills training this week, it seems.
Yes, it's a work in progress.
Indeed. So, are you aware of a recent incident at an Ontario high school where a student ripped pages from a Quran? And if so, how should school boards respond to this type of incident?
Yeah, look, it is troubling when you hear about any form of racism. I am aware of that situation, and I think we're all quite disturbed by it, frankly, because we live in a pluralistic, free democracy. We respect our differences. In fact, we celebrate them, and we learn from each other when it comes to our publicly funded schools. Of people of all faith and heritage and gender and orientation, we come together under one classroom, under one citizenship, to learn and thrive in Canada. So I condemn the situation. I'm pleased that the government continues to fund the Muslim Association of Canada, MAC, to build capacity and training for staff and for students to counter the rise of Islamophobia in the nation. Any form of hate is wrong, and we see too much of it in our society today, writ large, not just in schools, it's everywhere. And so we are, I think, working across lines with all ministries to eradicate it. And I think part of it comes down to how we can build inclusive schools and a value of welcoming everyone. And we have done that through curriculum, we've done that through the hiring of staff to better reflect the school community. And frankly, we do that every day by living out the citizenship of, working hard in a country where, hard work pays off. And I don't want any child, particularly, Muslim children in that school or around the province or country, to be disheartened. We believe in them, we support them, and we're going to continue to fund the organizations that advocate for them so that we don't see these circumstances happen again. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Giancarlo, City News. Can you address the rumors about OAC and grade 13 returning back to Ontario schools? Is the government considering that?
We are not. I'm not sure where that rumor is coming from, but students will graduate in 9 to 12. That's the mission. We want them to enter to higher learning, skilled trades, college, university, or into a job directly. Part of today's announcement, in fact, is in grade 9 or 10 to mandate that all students will now take one technical education course, opening up their doors and their pathways to careers in technology and the digital economy, and really help ignite in them, as was mentioned by the amazing student voice that was captured today, ignite the opportunity that comes with technology, with innovation, with research and development, and we want to capture more of that in Canada. So opening up their doors early, grade 9 and 10, creates pathways that they probably didn't even imagine was possible. And I think it's only going to help make our Ontario students, our graduating classes, give them the competitive advantage we want them to have in our economy.
And just your thoughts and reaction to all those online threats to schools for today in Peel. Anything you can say to that?
I'm briefed on all of these circumstances as they arise. Obviously very concerned when any school is locked down because of threats. We take them seriously. Our school boards work in conjunction with local police services as a matter of course. They are present in and around schools. We heighten our vigilance. And of course, children continue to learn while in school. The proliferation of crime in our communities is a real problem. The number of gun crimes happening in communities, not just urban anymore, it's happening everywhere. And so we've stepped up supports, mental health supports, after-school supports, nutrition supports. We're trying to help every child, particularly those most at risk, to have that ecosystem around them of support that helps dissuade them from a path of potential criminality. But obviously, as you know, our Premier has said this, and we will echo this today. When it comes to crime, we are calling again on the federal government to do their job in the context of getting tough on violent offenders, of holding them to account, ending the revolving door of justice where these recidivist criminals get out and repeat offend, creating havoc in our streets. We've seen this with gun crimes just as recently in the past month. So we want bail reform to be enacted. All premiers agree of all party lines. And so we think if the feds do their part, the province is doing ours, we could help reduce the risk for all schools and frankly all communities across Ontario.
Last question.
Hey, Minister, just have a couple of questions from a couple of other outlets. One from the Toronto Star. So high school student schedules are pretty jam-packed as is, with very little room for electives. How are they going to fit this in, and is the expectation that they would have to drop some other electives like arts courses, music, or drama, as an example?
There is still one art credit required. There's still one physical education credit required. This doesn't crowd out those opportunities and frankly those pathways if young people want to pursue them for careers. What this does is in grade 9 and 10, every single student, starting in the grade 9 cohort of September 2024, will have to take at least one technical education course. That could be for construction tech to emerging technologies. It could be a course in robotics or adolescent healthcare. We're giving a wide variety of course options in 9 or 10. We're doing that so that we're not crowding out the electives and the prerequisites in grade 11 and 12, which may be required for students to pursue higher learning. As you know, you want to become a doctor, you may need a prerequisite in chemistry in grade 12. So we're still creating that flexibility, but we are signaling clearly every child needs to have some technological education in their careers, and we think it's going to help particularly for the roughly 63% of kids in these courses are boys today, only 33% are girls. So if we can open up all children and ignite the opportunities that come with technical education and skilled trades learning, we think it's a good thing for every single child while still preserving their path to the career of their choice.
Okay, and from CTV, are new courses going to have to be introduced to ensure that there are enough spots or options for all of the students? Will you have to hire new teachers to make this a reality?
Just say the beginning part of that.
Will you need to be adding more courses or expanding the day as an example? And will you need to hire more teachers to make this a reality?
So we have a massive number of courses available to students today. We're actually adding courses as a matter of course each and every year. We're trying to provide more variety, more flexibility to try to focus on those industries of interest, from hospitality to mining to energy to advanced manufacturing, to help us build vehicles and technology that's being used right here today in Mississauga. With respect to the staff, we have and we're going to need more technical education teachers to meet the needs of students into 2024. So we have a plan with respect to hiring more of these educators, and we're actually, particularly when it comes to leveraging the private sector experience of many individuals who work in the private sector today but have a passion for kids. How do we get them more into the classroom, more into our shops classes? When I speak to students in Ontario, they love those educators. We were there on Wednesday with the Premier, and they were all singing praises of their teacher who, has that private experience, and they're marrying that experience with education. And if we can bring those together, we could have dynamic, exciting, and frankly, interesting class experiences for students. So yes, we are going to need more of them, and yes, we have a plan to hire more of them, and really thinking outside the box about how do we leverage the experience of people who every day are in the trenches using their tools and technology to help build our province.
Finally, thank you so much for your indulgence. Our colleagues at TFO want to know if there is a Francophone aspect to whatever program that's being implemented here. You don't have to answer in French, but if there is, of course, a Francophone aspect for Francophone students in Ontario to technological education.
It would apply to all students, English and French, Catholic and public, and of course, this supports the curriculum that's being unveiled for September 2023, our new computer science course and our technological curriculum. It will be available in both languages. Our professional development will continue to be available in French and in English. We want every student and every educator to master this subject. We want every single parent in Ontario to know that today's announcement is a clear signal that we are going to ensure that their kids have a career available to them that leads them to a good job in a changing global landscape. And I think this is a positive step forward for boys and girls in Ontario. It's going to help them graduate with an advantage, a competitive advantage from their peers east and west in this country, because we just know too many young people don't have good jobs connected to their skills. We still have this skills gap that exists. So if we can bridge that gap, if we can end the digital divide, we can help inspire young people to be productive citizens in our economy, get good jobs, help them own a home, and lead a life of purpose in this country.
Thank you. That concludes our press conference. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.